You are on your knees in a hallway you cannot see. The smoke is so thick your flashlight only lights up the smoke. The heat is pressing down on you from the ceiling like a hand. Your air tank has maybe 9 minutes left, and it is counting down whether you are ready or not. There is a door in front of you. Behind it, dispatch says, is a child. Every instinct a human body has is screaming at you to go the other way. You reach for the handle, and you feel for heat through your glove, the way a man named Captain Ruiz taught you a lifetime ago, because a door this hot can explode a room into fire the instant it opens. This is the worst 4 seconds of the job, and this is the story of how a kid who failed the physical the first time ended up on the other side of that door. Level 1. The kid who chased the trucks. You are 7 years old. The fire engine comes down your street with the lights going, and while every other kid covers their ears, you run to the curb. You do not flinch at the siren. You lean into it. Your uncle was a firefighter. He had a helmet on a shelf in his garage that you were not allowed to touch, and you touched it every single time he left the room. You are not a kid who dreams of being famous. You are a kid who dreams of being useful in the exact moment everyone else is falling apart. You fail the physical test the first time you apply, at 18. You cannot carry the dummy up the stairs fast enough. They tell you to come back next year. You do not cry about it. You buy a used set of stairs equivalent, a stadium with a lot of steps, and you climb it with a weighted pack until the next year's test feels easy. You pass on the second try. You do not know yet that the second try is the most important thing that will ever happen to you. Because the job is about to teach you that everything worth doing, you do tired, scared, and the second time. Level 2. The Probie. You are 20 years old, and you are a probationary firefighter. A Probie. A Probie is the lowest form of life in the firehouse, and everyone makes sure you know it. You arrive first, you leave last. You clean the toilets, you cook for the crew, you check every inch of the truck, and you do not sit in the good chair, because the good chair belongs to men who have earned it, and you have earned nothing yet. Your training officer is a weathered captain named Ruiz, 26 years on the job. He has a voice like gravel and eyes that have seen things he does not talk about at dinner. On your first day, he does not welcome you. He hands you a door prop and a thermal glove and says, "Before you ever open a door on a fire, you feel it. High, low, the handle. Fire wants air, and when you open that door, you are the air. Feel the door, or the door kills the room. Feel the door first. Always feel the door." You think it is a small lesson. It is the lesson that will save your life and end someone else's failure to learn it. Level 3. The first fire. You are 21. Your first real working fire. Here is what nobody can train into you. The noise. Fire does not crackle like a campfire. A room going up roars. A freight train sound that you feel in your chest. And the radio traffic is stacked on top of it. And your own breathing inside the mask is the loudest thing of all. And the dark. You think fire is bright. It is not. It is black. The smoke eats every bit of light, and you crawl, because the only survivable air is on the floor, and you navigate by running one gloved hand along the wall, because your eyes are useless. You freeze for 1 full second in the doorway. Then Ruiz's hand lands on your shoulder pack from behind, and his voice comes through the roar, "Feel the door. Stay low. Follow the hose out. You will not get lost if you never let go of the line." You move. You knock the fire down. You drag a charged hose line through a house that is trying to kill you, and you put water on the seat of the fire, and the roar drops to a hiss, and you walk out into daylight soaked and shaking, and more alive than you have ever felt. That night you cannot sleep. Not from fear, but because something in you has clicked into place that will never click out. You found the room you were supposed to be in. It is on fire. Level 4. The firefighter, and the first one you lose. You are 24. You are a full firefighter now. No longer a probie. You sit in a decent chair. You are good at the part they show in the recruiting videos. The fires, the rescues, the cat in the tree calls that make the kids laugh. What the recruiting videos do not show you is that most of the job is not fire. Most of the job is medical calls, car wrecks, the worst day of a stranger's life, over and over, 3 times a shift. You learn that a firefighter runs toward more heart attacks than house fires, and that the hardest calls are not the ones with flames. Then comes the one you do not get to save. A child, in a house you reached 90 seconds too late. You did everything right. You felt the door. You stayed low. You followed the line. And it was not enough. Ruiz finds you in the apparatus bay at 3 a.m., sitting on the back step of the engine, staring at nothing. He does not tell you it wasn't your fault. He does not tell you that you'll get over it. He says, you will carry this one. Good. The day you stop carrying them is the day you should hang up the gear. We carry them so we keep showing up sharp for the next one. That's the trade. Nobody tells you about the trade before you sign. You carry your first one that night. You will carry more. Level 5. The engineer. You are 28. You make engineer. The driver-operator. People think the engineer just drives the truck. People are wrong. The engineer runs the pump. When your crew is inside a burning building breathing through a hose, the water in that hose is the only thing keeping them alive, and the engineer is the one who controls the pressure, the flow, the supply. If the engineer loses the water, the crew inside loses everything. You learn the truck like it is your own body. You learn the streets so well you can get to any address in your district with your eyes half closed at 3 a.m. because the 90 seconds you save by knowing the route is the 90 seconds you did not have for that child. You never say that out loud, but that is why you study the map. You become the calm voice on the radio, the one who does not panic when the call comes in chaotic. You realize you have become, without noticing, a little bit like Ruiz. Ruiz is older now, slower getting off the truck. He has a cough he blames on the smoke, and you both pretend it is nothing. Level 6. The lieutenant, the one in charge of the line. You are 33. You make lieutenant. Now you ride the front seat. Now the crew in the back is yours. Here is what changes. As a firefighter, you are responsible for your own life inside the fire. As a lieutenant, you are responsible for theirs. Every time you send your crew through a door, you are making a calculation. Is what's inside worth what could happen to the people I'm sending in? You learn the hardest lesson in the fire service. Sometimes the right call is the one that lets a building burn. When there is no life left to save inside, you do not trade a firefighter's life for a structure. You pull them back. You let it burn. The first time you call your crew out of a savable building because it is no longer survivable, a part of you hates yourself. An older part of you, the part that sounds like Ruiz, knows it was right. You start teaching the probies now. You hand a kid a thermal glove and a door prop on his first day, and you hear your own voice say words you first heard a lifetime ago. Feel the door first. The kid thinks it is a small lesson. You know what it is. Level 7. The captain. You are 40. You make Captain Ruiz's old rank. You run the firehouse now. The whole station, the crew, the rig, the lives of everyone who walks through that bay door at shift change. You are the one the rookies are afraid of, and the one the veterans bring their problems to. You have been to thousands of calls now. You have the thing the old ones have. The calm that isn't fearlessness. It's just fear that has been organized into procedure. You walk into chaos and it slows down for you. Ruiz retired 2 years ago. The cough turned out to be exactly what you both pretended it wasn't. Job-related. The fire service is finally admitting what it spent decades denying. That the smoke follows you home. That the cancer rates in this job are not bad luck. They are the bill. You visit him. He is thinner. He still has the helmet on the shelf in his garage, the same kind your uncle had, and this time you are allowed to touch it. He says, "You teaching them to feel the door?" You say, "Every single one." He nods. From Ruiz, a nod is still a medal. It is the last full conversation you have with him. Level 8. The worst day. The one behind the door. You are 43. It is the call from the cold open. The hallway you cannot see. The door dispatch says has a child behind it. You are the captain now. You do not have to be the one crawling down that hallway. You have a crew for that. You go anyway. Some doors you do not send other people through. You feel the door, high, low, the handle. The way Ruiz taught you 23 years ago, the way you have taught 100 rookies since. The handle is hot, but the door is survivable. You stay low. You have not let go of the hose line. You open it the right way, controlled, and you go in. And this time, you are not 90 seconds too late. This time you come out of the smoke, carrying a 7-year-old who is coughing, which is the most beautiful sound in the world, because a child who is coughing is a child who is breathing. You hand her to the medics. You sit down on the curb. You do not cry where the crew can see you. You think about the first one, the one you carry. You think, this does not erase that one. Nothing does. But you understand, Finally and completely, what Ruiz meant about the trade. You carry the ones you lose, so that you are sharp enough to save the ones you can. That was the whole job. That was always the whole job. Level 9. The Battalion Chief. You are 49. You make Battalion Chief. You do not ride the engine anymore. You drive a command vehicle, and you arrive at the big fires to run the whole scene. Multiple companies, multiple crews, the entire chessboard of a major incident. You don't go through the doors now. You decide who does. It is lonelier up here. The way every rank up the ladder has been a little lonelier than the last. A firefighter has a crew. A chief has a radio, and the weight of everyone else's crews. You are the calm voice for an entire fireground now. When a young firefighter freezes in a doorway somewhere in your district, the voice that steadies them through the radio, that's you. You became the hand on the shoulder. Your body is starting to send you the bill too. The knees, the shoulders, the lungs you don't talk about. You go to more retirement parties than promotions now, and more funerals than either. You speak at Ruiz's funeral. You do not tell them about the child you lost, or the child you saved, or the worst 4 seconds of the job. You tell them the only thing that mattered. He taught me to feel the door first. He taught a whole generation of us, and every one of us who came home to our families came home because of the things he made us learn the boring way, 100 times, until our hands did it without us. Level 10. The old man and the next kid. You are 62. You are retired. The job is in your body forever now. Your knees announce the weather. Your lungs are not what they were. Some nights you still wake up at 3 a.m. out of pure muscle memory, listening for a tone that is not going to come anymore. You keep your old helmet on a shelf in your garage. One afternoon your great-nephew, 7 years old, is in the garage while you are not paying attention, and you turn around and he is holding the helmet, eyes wide, the way you once held your uncle's. You do not tell him to put it down. You crouch down to his level, slower than you used to crouch, and you tell him the one thing, not about the fires, not about the ones you lost or the ones you saved. You tell him, if you ever do this job, you remember one thing above everything else. Before you open a door on a fire, you feel it first. High, low, the handle. Fire wants air. Don't ever give it more than you mean to. He does not really understand. He will. Captain Ruiz is gone. Your uncle is gone. The men who taught you to feel the door are almost all gone now, and the ones still here keep their helmets on shelves in their garages and wake up at 3 a.m. listening for tones. Somewhere tonight, a fire engine is coming down a street with its lights going, and every kid on the block is covering their ears. Except one. One kid runs to the curb. One kid leans into the siren instead of away from it. One kid is going to spend the next year climbing stadium stairs with a weighted pack after failing a test he was never going to quit on. He does not know about the smoke that follows you home. He does not know about the trade, or the ones you carry, or the worst 4 seconds of the job. He just knows that when everyone else runs away from the fire, he wants to be the one running toward it. He will learn the rest. They always do. The cycle continues.